Hey y'all, here at OS Reviews. It's no secret that over the past few years we've checked out a number of very cool LED lights, including the infinity mirror lamps that kind of stretches into the abyss, giving it this sense of depth. Another cool light that we saw a while back was the EP lights, which were these bulbs that are made from LEDs and have this really artistic looking pattern to them. So today we're taking a look at a product that is kind of at the intersection or mix of both of these concepts. It's still in the form of a light bulb, a traditional E27 plug that can be inserted to any standard light bulb socket. However, it also combines this infinity pattern to create some very dazzling effects. So this particular product is made by Feit Electric, which is a pretty reputable brand when it comes to making light bulbs in general, and their LED bulbs and just regular bulbs they've been making for years and years. So they aren't new at making lighting products, but they're just trying to experiment now. Now, this particular infinity bulb is trying to be inspired by, they say, fireworks. We'll have to take a look at that later on in this video. And in terms of technical specs, it's 2 watts, so very energy efficient, but also, again, not the brightest light in the world. In fact, this is going to be rather dim, and it's best suited as a mood light, as a night light, something like that. This will sell usually on sale for around $10 a pop. I don't think it's too bad considering the very novel form factor and design they've gone with, but it is something to keep in mind. Versus the EP bulbs that we saw here are actually a little more expensive. They often will be $20 if not more for a single bulb. So in contrast, I would say this is not too bad. Inside here we have just the bulb itself, which is coated in a super reflective surface, and the material that it's kind of coated with is still made out of glass, of course, but with this film, which is kind of chrome plated, and the effect is basically not obvious until you turn it on. One thing that you will see, though, if you observe super closely, are these speckles, almost like stars and circles and triangles, which is kind of what is creating the illusion that becomes apparent once the light is flicked on. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, by the way, so you shouldn't really touch it with your hands, otherwise you have to wipe it off with a cloth. And ideally, when you are mounting it, you want to use a glove as well. But otherwise, the base here is just where a single LED sits. Turning it on, you can see that the effect is definitely quite mesmerizing and beautiful, I have to say. But like I said, it is a fairly dim light, so it's not going to be suitable for things like serious work or anything like that. And it is a little bit on the warm side as well in terms of the glow, which is almost slightly orange or yellowish, just probably due to that rainbow colors towards the primary section of the bulb. So just a few things to keep in mind, but very comfortable, like I said, if you're using it as a mood lamp, something to put in the bedroom as you're falling asleep, a night light. It works and suits those purposes quite well. Now again, the illusion here really is quite convincing when you turn it on. It just seems like it's this optical fiber or something like physically sprouting upwards from the bulb. However, I would say that compared to the infinity tunnel mirror, that one had more of a dynamic sense of depth as you are interacting with the light. But still, this is definitely incredibly cool as far as light bulbs are concerned, and just super beautiful. In fact, I would say for the best effect, you want to ideally put it into a lamp or a holder that kind of reveals the sides. Maybe one that looks like this, that's a little more open, would also work, I think, the best in terms of casting the glow and just making all of the details a little bit easier to observe as we are zooming in here. So it does, in fact, extend into the abyss as you're looking downwards. One advantage, I guess, of having just a single LED light inside, though, is it is very cool, never overheats or anything like that, even if you're kind of resting your hand on it, and as it's turned on for more than an hour or so, it still is relatively cold to the touch. Now, at the end of the day, though, these are still just light bulbs, so there's no other kind of really new tricks or features to speak of. Of course, if you do plug it into a smart socket, perhaps one that has, let's say, Wi-Fi for automation, you can turn it on or off with Alexa and other smart assistants. That will be completely up to you and also what device that you're using. So the light itself is just a universal bulb that, like I said, can plug into any standard socket. And then let's just take a final look at the lamp as aforementioned from the various angles and degrees to get you kind of a better idea of how it looks in motion as you're walking around it instead of just a static single image. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of the Feit Electric Firework LED bulb. At the end of the day, it still is a pretty simple product, just like the EP bulbs. It's more about this design than anything else. And one thing I will mention is that these do come in all types of form factors, even outside of Feit Electric. Other brands are manufacturing it as well. It is a very cool decor item, I have to say. There's bigger ones, there's ones in other more dramatic shapes and sizes. Fun to use and try out. So you can check out more details if you're interested in the links down below. For now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.